positions. 11, they should be treated as such. The Bears are back, baby!
Hello and welcome back to I75Live. We are on episode 40. Can't believe we've hit 40 episodes.
How many? We started in August. It's now about to be June. So what? That's like 10 months.
Well, we started right when the football season started.
It was almost
last
July.
year. So yeah, we're about ready to hit a year.
Our first episode, we covered the Olympics.
Yeah.
I think we were talking about some of the preseason, Hard Knocks. Yeah. So I think that was the last week of July, first week of August.
It has
been a long year.
To start today's episode, though, episode 40, we are going to kick off something that hits a little home to some of our friends that we talked to.
Yeah.
But the Bengals, and it happened a couple weeks ago. It's still going on.
Oh my God,
the reason we're bringing it up now because there's a lot of OTA stuff going on with teams.
I think most teams
players
have started OTAs at this
volunteer
point now.
yeah. So not everyone has to show up, and we'll get into that later with my team actually. But to start off though, the Bengals first round pick. I think everyone's seen it.
17th overall, Shamar Stewart.
He decided not to sign his contract and basically was like, I don't know if he's come out and said it wasn't enough money.
So
I don't know.
I know exactly what it was, and it's language in the contract, and it's involving guarantees that aren't there this year that were in a part of the contract for their first round pick last year. And so he's
How
he's
does
just
he
asking.
know that though?
I would assume communicated with that said player.
Same agent, maybe?
Same agent. There's a lot of different things that could have come out about that or how he found out. But he knows now. He knows that they're trying to either, one, they don't trust that he's going to be the player they thought he was when they took him in the first round. But how do you do this as a front office? It's like you don't have your big pass rusher signed in Trey Hendrickson. He should have been signed last year. Same with, Jamar and T, and that we've gone over that before. But now your top two pass rushers aren't signed. They're not on the field at all.
Well, I think you answered your question to how do they let this happen? Well, it's kind of like the track record that the Bengals have always been known for of just not doing things the right way or not doing things at all.
You'd think you'd notice the pattern eventually, right?
Well, most people,
especially with this last one, this was pretty big.
Well, most people don't.
Most people don't
when they continue to make mistakes.
We know about that too. We know all about that.
Most people don't want to change.
But
they just expect a different outcome doing the same thing.
This is true. But asking the question, is this probably the most incompetent front office in the NFL right now?
I'd say
maybe the Browns.
I'd put Dallas up there.
Dallas,
it's definitely one of them.
I don't think you can call Dallas a front office though. I think that's just Jerry.
That's just a one-headed snake.
Yeah, that's literally just one guy that's taking it down to the ground. But
the way I see it is there's a reason why a lot of these teams stay at the level. Yes, they have Jamar. Yes, they went to a Super Bowl. Yes, they have Joe Burrow. Yes, they have all. But even the whole T. Higgins and Jamar Chase thing was, they kind of put themselves in the same situation as the Dolphins to where they signed Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill for all this money. They kind of just did the same.
They don't have any money left.
They don't have any money left to sign.
Extended Tyreek too.
I'll say it, and I've said it 1,000 times. If I were the Bengals, I would have signed Jamar because there's no way you let Jamar walk. I would have let T. Higgins walk, and I would have signed Hendrickson instead of Higgins. So I would have had one big signing on offense, one big signing on defense, and drafted and called it a day.
Realistically, though, you could have signed all three of them. If you just had a little bit of foresight last offseason, you could have paid Jamar and got him for at least $8 million cheaper than what you got him for. Same with T, and same with Trey. Realistically, you could have saved like $24 million but across the three of them, and that, on top of that, affords you a starting guard, which you also need to protect Joe Burrow. So it's really bad. And on top of that, we saw a few weeks ago, how the players release those grades for each front office and facility and their food and stuff like that. The Bengals ranked last across the board damn near. And so it's on top of them not being able to pay their players, I think you were the one that brought it up. Nobody wants to go there. Nobody, no free agents is going to go to Cincinnati after they hear all these fucking horror stories about how bad the Bengals are.
And Jamar, I think, is openly talking. He's like, well,
it needs to be better.
I love being here because there's nothing to do. So when the football season's around, I just get to focus on football.
Just do football.
So it just it's the classic example, like I said, to where most teams, organizations, people, however you want to view it or look at it through a certain lens, It's insanity. They're trying to do the same thing, expecting different results, and this happens.
We'll have to get some of their, because we've got this planned out. We're going to kind of go into depth about all the divisions leading up, and I think we'll finish right as like preseason starts in the Hall of Fame game. But for that week, when we're talking about the AFC North, definitely going to get some of our Bengals fans' opinions.
We should know
on
more
this
by
whole
then,
thing.
too, when we get there.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, there should be more.
Hopefully one of them, or not both of them, are signed, or Trey Hendrickson is traded by then. But you never know. The Bengals like to kind of drag things out like this. They were dragging this out until the season pretty much last year. But on to Dawson's team. This was kind of fun. This was exactly what you didn't want to happen when you signed Stefon
Now,
Diggs.
hold on, though. I had two reactions when I saw this. My first reaction was, fuck yeah, we got a wide receiver one.
That is how wide receiver ones act.
My second reaction was, the dude's passing out whatever he's passing out to. You've seen the video.
Yeah.
Let's just leave it at that. That was my second. But my first reaction was like, we got a dog.
That's a dog.
That's a wide receiver one right there.
10 touchdowns,
let's go.
1,400 yards incoming.
And then I see the videos of like Vrabel and the other wide receivers.
You can tell,
and it's
the
just
second that video came out, you can tell that Vrabel was on his line.
Like you should be there. You should be there. You should be at OTAs.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be doing what you were doing.
I will say that after that video came out, the day after, he posted videos of him back on the practice field. Not at the Patriots practice field, but I'm guessing in like Florida, wherever he was. I think it was like his birthday or something.
Which is fine.
He was working out on his own, but it's not with the team.
Yeah, and especially going into like, you have a new quarterback. You have
brand new head coach.
You're supposed to be the veteran leader,
one of the new
Stefon Diggs.
Yeah. So
I would like
Are
you
you
to
worried,
be
though? As a Patriots fan, are you worried at all?
I think the only thing I'm worried is the NFL doing some bullshit and saying he's suspended for 4 games with, like they do with...
Good news about that is that substance, whatever that was, is long gone. But there ain't no evidence of that anymore.
Yeah, who knows what it was?
But my initial reaction was, hey, this is what wide receiver ones do.
This is what they do.
So
when's the last time a receiver on the Patriots was doing that shit?
That's what I'm saying. Never.
Maybe around for like a week.
Maybe Randy Moss, maybe it just wasn't on video.
Maybe.
Again, this is why I tell you, when you say, oh, you're being such a Debbie Downer on your team,
you see shit
then
like
I see shit like this, and it's like, this is why I don't get my hopes up.
Yeah, I will say you've got the right guy at the head of it to kind of, almost spearhead stuff like this.
I agree.
I don't think Vrabel's going to take any of that shit. I think that got nipped in the bud the second that video call went.
And, that's what you can hope for, and that's what you can, as what we know Mike Vrabel to be.
Yeah.
But this is why I don't get my hopes up.
Yeah?
It just is, because shit like this happens, and it's like, well, that sucks.
Yeah,
we just paid this guy all this money, expecting him to come in and teach all these new receivers.
Pay him a lot. He's got like $30 million guaranteed, something like that.
For someone coming off some injuries,
ACL?
Oh yeah. This just doesn't happen in New England though. Like
that
this
too.
In Miami.
That's why when I saw it, I was like, "Hold on, like
it's finally
we're changing a little bit." And then my real life brain was like, "Fuck, this isn't good. This is not good."
Kyle Williams season.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Not good.
But moving on, sticking with the AFC East, I saw this. I wasn't even the person that brought this up. This was one of the guys that we play games with. We were on PS5 last night. Said the Bills are favored in every single one of their games this season.
Yeah.
Every one.
So
all 17.
Well, if you have to look at the schedule to understand
you
why.
look at their
I think
schedule.
there's a little asterisk next to it because all of their games where it's like, what? They're all home.
All of their toughest games are at home.
But that means normally they give, like, if the spread is 2.5, the home team gets about 3 points.
Yeah.
So that's why I'd say there's
every game. Yeah. When is the last time that's happened?
I think the Chiefs last year.
The Chiefs were favored in every game last
year.
year.
But I think one of the years the Chiefs were up there.
Maybe. But yeah, all of their toughest home games, they at home versus the Ravens, that's week 1. Then they get the Chiefs at home, you get the Bucks at home, the Eagles at home. But it's not like they've got, the easiest games on the road. They still have to go to Miami whenever, if Miami's healthy. They have to go to the Texans. I think I expected the Texans to be a lot better this year if the O-line ends up being all right. But they made a lot of moves, and they're at the Falcons. So the Falcons, another team that I thought way better.
That Falcons-Bills game could be very
really
sneakily good.
Oh,
absolutely. If the Falcons end up.
I'll have to look up what week that's in too, because if that's near the end of the season, oh man,
yeah,
that might be pretty good.
Yeah,
really good.
I want to say when we were looking at tickets for the because the Dolphins are playing at the Falcons.
Yes.
When we were looking at tickets to go to that game, that the Bills that game was pretty expensive.
Oh, I bet.
So. It would make sense. That would be a hell of a game to watch if the Falcons end up turning out to be kind of what everyone thinks they will.
Oh yeah,
and the Bills are going to be the Bills. So
it's very excited, but yeah, being favored in every game this season. Maybe I'm just kind of being a little bit dramatic, but that seems crazy to me. For a team that didn't win the Super Bowl, didn't even make it to the Super Bowl last year.
They were close though.
I know, but if. I would understand if it was the Eagles.
Yeah.
So a team that didn't really lose much and arguably got better in some areas. So it's
they have to prop up the Bills because didn't they?
They do.
Don't they have a new
He's their
stadium coming in?
MVP.
Isn't their stadium open up like this year,
next year? That stadium looks cool as shit. But oh man,
yeah, I think it's not surprising because the Bills are good, but at the same time, there is a little bit of an asterisk just because all those games are at home, and normally the home team gets about 3 points.
Especially those cold weather games in Buffalo. Yeah. If some of those tough games, like if they play the Chiefs in December, same with the Bucks. They get the Bucks.
But
in
even
December.
the Bills are running into kind of how all of our critiques we had for them last year before the season started. Who they going to throw the ball to now? James Cook isn't showing up because he wants a contract.
They do.
So I think we're going to have, the closer the season gets, we're going to have those conversations again with the Bills of they're not going to be the same. They're not going to do this. Yeah. And
I think Keon Coleman gets better after another year. I like Khalil Shakir, their slot guy.
Yeah,
and then
they paid him.
They signed, the Joshua Palmer from the Chargers. Not a big name, but speedy, deep threat. Good for Josh Allen.
He did really good with, I'd say, Herbert.
Yeah, still got Curtis Samuel.
When Keenan Allen was there, and when some of who was the tall receiver that went to the Jets?
Oh, Mike Williams.
Mike Williams was there.
Back with the Chargers.
He was a good role player, which he could be for the Bills. But it's so funny that the Bills are it's almost.
I think they understand the blueprint that you don't force money to receivers.
Well, it's very blueprint-esque of what the Patriots did.
Yeah.
For all those years, to where you had no clue who was on the team.
Good O-line, good quarterback, enough to pass the ball around.
And
they got
defense.
Good tight ends.
And a good defense. And good tight ends, yes. So the Bills are always going to, Josh Allen, as long as he's on that team, they're going to be in the playoffs.
That's fair.
I would guess.
Well, before we move on, let's take a second to promote the show. I think we work very hard on this, so feel free to leave a like on the video, drop some comments. Follow our social media pages. We post some short clips here and there on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts. But yeah, we appreciate all of the support, but it's time for 4th and Long now.
This was fun last week.
This was fun.
So
we're going to keep doing this.
We hope Chris has some good ones again this week.
I do have some good questions this week. So the 4th and Long, let's hit this thing. This is going to be a fun one. So let's start with one of our hometown teams. Let's talk about the Atlanta Braves.
Oh.
So are we going for it? Or are we punting? The Braves currently are 25-28. They have a doubleheader today up at the Phillies. If they lose these 2 games, they are 11.5 back.
Yeah. My
question to you guys is it time to punt this season, or are we going for it? A third of the season will be complete after today. A third of the season.
Jake is saying go for it.
I know you can't win a championship. You can't win a championship in the first, 100 or first 50, 60 games.
It's only been
but
2
I think
months.
You might be able to lose one. So are we going for it, or are we punting?
It's hard because I always base it off the All-Star break.
You've got some promising rookies. It's like
we've got Acuna back, we've got Strider back.
Finally.
We finally kind of feel like we have all the Infinity Stones to go out and play our best baseball.
Mm-hmm.
I always view it to the All-Star break. Until I get to the All-Star break is when I am like, okay, if we're not, if we don't look like this and we're after the All-Star break, then this season just, chalk it up.
You've got about a month and a half until then, right?
I'll say go for it just to get to the All-Star break. And then depending on where we're at going into the All-Star break and maybe like a week after, I'll be like, this season was just from hell again. I don't know what we did again to not have it be what it was a couple years ago when we won the World Series. So I'll say go for it for now. My answer will probably change after
we may have to
break.
revisit. I'm not punting it just yet because of what Dawson brought up. And, I mean, you guys have had some promising rookies. Yes, there was, I think, last week, a really bad play by a rookie. That base running
it was
mistake,
the base running.
that's one of the worst ones I've ever seen.
That would have left, I mean, I think that would have been 1 out with runners on first and third for us to try to tie the game.
I think your brother was at that game, too.
Were you at that game, Jake? Oh, man. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not punting just yet because Acuna just came back. Strider just came back a few weeks ago. I think you've got enough still. Ozuna hasn't been playing the best, and so I think he could play better. I think, really, Sean Murphy can play a lot better, or is he still out?
Sean Murphy's there. Drake Baldwin, our rookie, has played really good.
Olsen. I mean, we have, I know you DFA'd Arcia, so who's playing shortstop now is my question.
Oh, man, what's his name? Crap. I'm losing. It's not White. Nick Allen. He's played. I mean, he beat out Arcia for that spot.
Well, I mean, Arcia hasn't been playing.
No, Arcia, and I think he just got picked up by the Rockies.
The Rockies.
I think we have the talent. We have the big names. We have the Atlanta Braves. We have the pitching with Chris Sale. With our bullpen's not the best, but there's no reason
why. You still have Ronaldo Lopez. Is he starting for you guys, or is he in the bullpen?
He's hurt. He actually got hurt towards the beginning of the year, and he's.
You know what we need to do? We got to go get that guy that wear the pearls, Jock, whatever.
Jock Peterson.
We got to get him.
He only plays good on the Braves.
He's the magic that we need.
We need someone to come in and be like, man, the fuck up.
Just go get Rosario again.
Yeah,
just go get Rosario.
We had him too. I think we DF'd him as well.
Okay, so
I know what you guys are missing. Jesse Chavez. I think adding him for the 12th time.
He was on the team for the first little bit too.
I know he's been on the team twice this season already. So I think
he plays great for the
third
Braves.
time's the charm, baby.
I'm not ready to punt yet.
So we're not punting. Okay, we're sticking with the Braves. I'm sticking with them too.
Yeah.
But man, oh man, they better get it figured out here really quick. So, okay, next one here. Let's switch this up. Let's talk about a movie. You know, sequels, when they come out, they're not always nice to the first movie. And I know, Dawson, you just went to a sequel. I don't want to talk about that one. You went to Lilo and Stitch.
Not a sequel.
I thought it was really good.
It really wasn't. I guess it was live action, whatever, right? But let's talk about an actual sequel that's coming out. That's right. Happy Gilmore 2. So I just want to know, based on what you've seen so far, when is it officially supposed to come out? Are you worried that it's going to mess up what we remember as nostalgia as the first one? Are we punting or are we going for it on this movie? What say you?
This one's really hard. To answer your question,
it comes out July 25th.
I don't think. Wait, when does July 25th? Fantastic Four comes out really close to that too.
Yeah, it's a week before, I think. Fantastic Four comes out a week before.
Be living at the movie theater in July.
I know, right?
Then Superman comes out too.
Same weekend as Fantastic Four.
Yeah, so there's a lot of movies. So what I'll say first is I don't think the second one is going to ruin the first one. I think the first one is so iconic.
If it's bad, I think people are going to appreciate the first one even more.
Yeah, so I don't think no matter what the second one holds, I think the first one's going to hold up and be the classic.
Oh yeah.
You know, Happy Gilmore beating the shit out of the alligator, Stubbs, and all of
what
you're gonna die, clown.
Yeah, all of the awesome moments in Happy Gilmore. I don't think it ruins it. What I will say though is this one. Some of the trailers for Happy Gilmore 2, some of the trailers that we gotten, it looks like it's just thrown together with a bunch of huge celebrities like Travis Kelce and all the golfers and DeChambeau and I think Scotty's in there, Rory's in there. It just looks like it's all just thrown at a wall and hoping that it just because it has Happy Gilmore on it.
Yeah, which they did with the first one, but it wasn't in your face. Like they weren't using those faces to promote the movie. Like when Bob Barker was in it and he beats the shit out of Happy. Like that.
And he was in it
one
for
of the best parts of the movie. He's only in it for like 3 minutes.
I'm gonna go watch it, so I'm gonna say I'm going for it. Just because I want to see it, and it Happy Gilmore is one of my favorite movies growing up. Of just the corniness and the funny, stupid funny of what all of his movies were. So I will go see it. Am I a little worried that it's just going to be a shit show and I'm going to walk out of it and be like, what did I just? Was that a golf movie?
It'll be on Netflix.
Like was it a documentary with just a bunch of people? I don't know. So I think
Happy Gilmore's
Well, remember, it is a Netflix movie
Netflix.
too.
Yeah,
it is.
It's coming out on Netflix.
Oh, it's
so not going to theaters.
Well, a lot of Adam Sandler's movies are Netflix. He's
They
got
are
quite the
now.
deal.
That's
with
true.
that.
I just kind of thought because of how big it is, it might go on the big screen.
Going straight to Netflix.
Okay, well,
we're definitely gonna watch it then.
yeah,
Family movie.
I'll go for it.
As long as you can get your
I'll go for
parents'
it, too.
Netflix password, you should be able to watch
Yeah,
it.
some people are. I know Jake has that problem. He can't get it.
Dude,
Too far from the home
gotta
location.
move the households. Gotta move the households.
that's funny.
But no, I'm not punting it either. I will at least wait and see. But
Yes,
I will say it's not necessarily the greatest lead up to the movie.
I agree.
Well, hopefully they drop another trailer. I hope they do. It looks.
haven't really-
I'd
I think
it
rather
looks
them
good.
not and just release the movie
Honestly,
and let us
yeah.
watch it.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Because I think
That's right.
too many trailers ruin too many
Yeah.
movies.
It's true.
True, very true. Okay, so third one here, last, fourth, and long. So let's talk about the WNBA. Let's talk about Caitlin Clark. So Caitlin Clark, they just announced out
like
for
hamstring
2
injury,
weeks,
right?
whatever
it's
some quad or some kind of an injury, right?
Lower
So
body.
the funny thing is, though, is this is leading up to their game in Boston. They actually just moved this game too to where the Celtics play because they were selling
Madison
more tickets.
Square
Now
Garden?
people
Or
want
not
their money
Madison Square
back.
Garden.
So I'm just curious. Listen, is the
what it's called.
WNBA fine? Angel Reese is a star, or are the ratings going to completely crash, and they're going to finally realize that Caitlin is driving this whole league? Are we punting or are we going for it?
I'm going to answer this question to a tweet that was 100% real. It wasn't just some fake burner account. It was NBA Central. Everyone knows what I'm talking about. The prices for all of her games have dropped double. Or what am I trying
They've
to say?
dropped 50%.
They've dropped 50%
50%.
from what they were when Caitlin was playing. So to put some simple math, if the ticket was $80 because
Stats
Caitlin's
don't
not
lie.
playing
Now
anymore,
40.
now the tickets are $40. So that tells me everything that I need to know that she runs the league, and because she's hurt, the tickets dropped 50%
In all of her games.
in all of her games.
Every single one.
So
And those are the Fever games are the only ones that are those prices.
Yes,
They're not.
Like you just said, the reason why the game got moved, they were playing the Boston team. They got moved to this because obviously,
Well, it
more
was going to be the
demand.
big matchup between Angel Reese and her.
Are you talking about
and now it's
Chicago?
obviously not going to happen.
Yeah,
Or
well,
I don't even. Who knows?
Chicago.
Well,
They probably
who
moved it
knows?
to the
Whatever.
Bulls
A lot
arena.
of those. I mean, they've
There's
been
only one
moving
person in the WNBA, I think, that can fill an arena.
Probably.
100%.
One.
And I'll say
Angel
it.
Reese.
That's right.
I'll say it until I mean it's there's one person that can do it.
Yep.
And you saw this. She's hurt for a couple weeks or however long she's going to be, and the ticket sales dropped by 50%.
Okay, so then one more. Let's have a
mean-
follow up. What happened? What would happen if she had a season-ending
Oh,
injury
you
right
know
now?
what would happen.
that do to the league?
I mean, let's just
like,
hope
would
it
we
doesn't.
even like? Would anybody care?
Dave Portnoy wouldn't be
Ugh.
talking about it. You
Yeah,
wouldn't have all the social media presence of it. They would try to force feed it.
Yeah,
Like
they
that
would.
meme of the old guy holding up the
Holding your eyes
eyes
open.
of just, you have to watch this.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone says. There's one person that runs it.
Yeah.
And this is the argument that I heard someone say. Someone was comparing it to like when Michael Jordan came in the NBA and just skyrocketed it. When this was the best argument that I heard. It was Colin Cowherd, believe it or not, because I know he's on record for saying some diabolical shit.
Yeah.
But he said that the best comparison of Caitlin Clark to what she's doing for the WNBA is what Tiger Woods did for the PGA.
For the golf. Oh, yeah.
For the golf, when Tiger Woods came in and he gave
She's got to start winning championships.
he gave a
though.
platform
Like
to
MVP.
Oh, she will.
Phil Mickelson, to all these guys, to where they looked at it from the lens that the WNBA players should be looking at it, as in this girl, this player is going to elevate everyone. So we need her. Like, no matter what you think about her, no matter how jealous you are of her, we need her because it will help me. The same way Tiger Woods helped all those golfers. The same way Michael Jordan helped all of the
Basketball
NBA.
was not, before MJ, it was not one of those staple sports. Yeah, people liked it, and, football was still king, obviously, especially back then in the 80s and 90s. But then when Jordan came around, basketball became a global sport. Global.
And there's one person to what's the word I'm looking for? There's one person to
Polarized.
polarize that for, and that was Michael Jordan. And Caitlin Clark is that.
Yep.
But the problem is all these egos of, no, it's about me, and they're watching basketball because of me. No, they're not. No, they're not.
No, they're
They're
not.
watching basketball.
They're betting against you.
Yeah,
maybe.
the guys on TikTok who I've seen, I'm sure everyone has seen.
Oh my God.
They literally bet.
So
You'll think this
funny.
is funny.
Chris, this is awesome.
They bet every single night or
it's
every
like
single game.
3 or 4 times in a row. It's hit.
It's hit like for the past 4 games. They bet Angel Reese to miss her first shot attempt. They bet it. They bet like $100, and then whatever they won,
4 nights in a row.
they took their winnings, bet on it again. Won again. Took their winnings, bet on it again. Won again. Took their winnings, and it's like a series they're doing on TikTok.
I saw a comment underneath that said you should have also bet for her to get the rebound off of the first
That's
rebound.
so true. That's so true.
So to me, that's just, I mean,
Amazing.
That's what the WNBA is. You have Caitlin Clark,
And then you got betting.
and then you have
purposes.
betting a player to miss her first shot, and it being fucking hilarious. And
So listen,
what I bet.
the Tiger Woods comparison actually I think makes
It's a
a lot
good
of
one.
sense.
It is.
So did you know before Tiger Woods joined the PGA, the average money that was being spent on total purses per year
What, like 10
was
grand?
$53 million. Okay,
Holy
total
shit.
purses for all the tournaments.
Okay. All across
3
all
years
of them.
after Tiger Woods turned pro, that average jumped to $135 million.
Double.
That's 3x the amount of money,
Three.
and it's continued to go up every year.
Oh,
Uh,
holy shit.
that's amazing.
Yeah,
did
it
you
is.
hear PGA guys coming out saying, "Oh, this is"?
Oh no, they loved
They
Tiger.
loved it because
They
it was
loved
better
Tiger.
for
Tiger
them.
made them so much money.
Yeah, and that's what I. That's
Even
what I
if they
think
weren't
is
able to
missing.
beat him, he was doing a lot for the sport.
That's
He did
what
a
I
lot for
think
the
is
sport.
missing.
He brought the
And
money in, the eyes in.
I don't want to say it's like a male female thing, but for some reason there's just so much jealousy surrounding this, and
Yeah.
I seriously don't know why.
So I mean, this is a very poor, I guess, example, but it reminds me of when, so there was a tweet, when Matthew Judon was on the Patriots, and someone, I think it was Donovan Mitchell or somebody tweeted, "Dude with the red sleeves is nice. He came to play." And then Matthew Judon responded and said to the like, "I appreciate you," and stuff like that. And then similar tweet towards an NBA player, number so-and-so is real nice. And the WNBA player said, "Learn my name or keep my name out of your mouth or keep my number out of your mouth." I was like, what the fuck?
Like,
wow, that's some serious ego.
It's. I mean,
Oh my
it's just
God.
like you're lucky someone is tweeting at
It was
you.
another pro athlete too. I think it was, I may be getting it wrong. I think it was Donovan Mitchell or
I know what you're
Iguodala,
talking about.
Andre Iguodala, that tweeted towards the WNBA player, was watching the game, was like, "Yeah, number 23 is nice."
And instead of looking at that, like,
with
hey, like, sweet,
show
and-
some respect and learn my name.
yeah,
What the fuck?
like no one cares.
And how many times do we refer to people by their numbers?
Oh
and
my
it's
God,
okay?
all the time.
Yeah, that's just unbelievable.
It's just the egos that are going on with
Ugh.
it, and even the whole like, it's just it's crazy, and I don't.
I don't
understand
think it'll
it.
last. I think sooner
Well,
or later
it
it'll
better
they'll
not, or
come
else they're not
around.
going to have a league.
Yeah,
That's the reality of it.
that's
Because
true.
also the reality of it, since the
don't
WNBA has
make
been
money.
a thing, they have profited $0. They've lost
Oh, yeah.
money every single year.
Well, the NBA subsidizes them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then, even to your point of that tweet, an NBA player trying to support, and then you're shitting on it to where it's like, if it wasn't for them, you don't even have something to tweet about
yeah, but
of your
is
number.
Caitlin Clark's team
I
making
saw that
money
and
though? I wonder if
laughed,
they're
dude.
profiting. I
I
wonder if
would
they're actually in
imagine
the
the
black.
fever. I would imagine the fever.
I think they probably
close.
are. I mean,
I
we know
still don't-
someone
For
in ticket
jersey
sales
sales,
there.
jersey
They sell
sales,
out
ticket
every
sales,
game.
Yeah. I would assume the fever do make money.
bet you they still don't.
Really?
After all that,
If
I think they may
if I
be
was
the
a
only
betting
one.
man,
The only
I
one.
would say no.
Are their financials public? Would you be
I
able
don't
to
know.
look that up?
maybe. I
But
don't know if
while Chris looks that up, let's move over because they just actually today they released the trailer.
Hold on, Chris. Fourth and
Oh.
long segment. Good job.
Oh, actually, yes.
Good.
Another good one.
Another
that's
good
good.
week.
That's good.
Was another good one.
Again.
But yes, so college football, they released the trailer today for CFB26, and they released the cover a few days ago as well. I think both two standout freshman wide receivers, the Alabama guy,
Deserved.
Ryan Williams, and then, the Ohio State guy, Jeremiah Smith, 100%. I mean, no complaints there. And even I like the deluxe cover. They've got Bryce Underwood, the Michigan quarterback's
got-
really cool. First time ever that an upcoming freshman is on a cover of a game. So that's really
Kirby
cool.
Smart's. I thought I pointed
Lane
this out to
Kiffin's
Jake.
on there as well.
Reggie Bush is on
Yes,
it, and
I saw
it's just
that.
like,
yes.
okay, so you're gonna advertise Reggie Bush now, but you're not going to give him
They
back
gave
his
it back
high-
to it. He has it
did
back
they?
now.
Oh,
last year he finally got it back, but he's
Okay,
suing
I
them.
guess so.
He's suing them. I think he's
so
in the
that's
middle
probably
of a
where I
lawsuit.
got.
The NCAA.
Okay.
But my question for you is, I mean, are there any expectations for this upcoming game? Because it's already been announced that they're not bringing back mascot mode. So it seems like they're kind of following the track of Madden. Is like, you're going to accept that this is the same product every year, but you're going to buy it anyways because it's updated rosters.
It, as much as it is going to, I mean, this is why
they added high school, at least this year.
Yeah, but
I guess that was hard.
This is why they've done this, though. They did all the work they did last year because they knew as soon as they built it up, as soon as they had a base, as soon as they had all these things, you were just going to be able to rinse and repeat it every single year with new players, with a new cover, try to convince people that this is new and this is so, this is all, look over here, but it's really the same shit. Like,
here's a new hurdle move.
Like, or a new one animation or one, now you can play 2 games in high school, not just one.
Just one.
So
you get your pick between 5 different high schools.
Yeah. And I'll look, I think this is the problem with the
Sports
gaming industry in general. Call of Duty does the same thing to where they try to convince you that it's this brand new game when it's not, and then everyone complains about it 2 months after, and it's like, oh, it's like, dude, like how many more times are we gonna have to do this till you finally realize
it's not gonna change until their fan base changes, and ironically, I don't think that's going to change. But you brought it up yesterday that I think so. I'm gonna ask you. Do you think EA should just stop releasing yearly copies of the same game over and over and just focus on yearly updates and like improving the engine? Then every like 5 years when new consoles come out, you release a new game.
If it was up to me, I think every AAA huge game, Call of Duty, Madden, any of those games that Fortnite does a great job of it.
Exactly.
I think like CSGO does a great job of it to where
we hate on it, but one of our favorite games from our childhood, Destiny, did that. Where they kept the same game and they just updated it over and over again.
And I think in that, and you just have expansions that you pay for, which I'm fine with that. Yeah. And it makes people more willing to pay for things because you feel like you're getting your worth of it.
Yep.
You're not just paying for something, but then it's like, well, fuck, I'm going to have to buy another
one next year
in 6 months.
And the prices of games are increasing too.
Yeah, why am I going to pay for this? And another game who I think has done a great job of it that everyone's so excited for is Grand Theft Auto, to where Grand Theft Auto 5 was around when the PlayStation 3 was the main console.
And then it survived through the 4, and now it's on the 5 as well.
So and 6 is coming out, and so to me, if it was truly up to me, of a game of a player and what I would want, you have one game and you update it. And you make it the best version of itself. It makes even more sense
for sports games.
Yes.
It makes the most sense for sports games. And yeah, I see you doing the little. That's why they don't money. But
I agree.
Like they could be making a shit ton of money doing this too.
I agree, but my
skins, cosmetics, and shit.
That would be my question. To where if it was truly college football. And it was just updated on engine, on new animations. You can reset, your ultimate team to where it just becomes obsolete, but you're still playing the same game. Would that be more enticing for people to spend money on, knowing that you've got a 4-year life cycle of this game?
I'm not lying. That would actually persuade me to think about getting back into those games because it's like. Just like that, they could wipe the system and be like, okay, those are old cards for the ultimate team. Like, it's new season now. All these ones aren't good anymore. Like pretty much any other game that keeps the same base and just recycles content or throws content away for new content. I think that's the way of the future. I think they're way behind. I think EA is probably on the back turn.
And I would say what I hope happens is this: when GTA 6 finally comes out, I hope it completely resets the whole gaming industry and market as a whole.
That's what I hope so.
Because it's
going to make competition. Like, I think these big gaming companies like EA and even like Treyarch, Activision are not. Once Rockstar releases GTA 6 and it's everything that we thought it was going to be, hopefully, and more, I think all these gaming companies are going to start scrambling. I think it's going to drive up competition, and a lot of people might actually, like what happened with Fortnite, they're going to try and copy the model and stop releasing the same game over and over again. Because I'm just going to go to GTA.
Well, and I don't have a problem with games being expensive either. The reason why people have problems with it is because they know in the back of their head it's the same shit. Mm-hmm. I'm paying for the same game that I bought last year for
the same engine.
It's the same thing. So if you start to take games that, companies are really putting updates in or just having, life cycles, you're more inclined to spend, game's $80, I'll have it for 3-4 years. I'm cool with that. Mm-hmm. But I've got to spend $80 on the same game every year now. That's why people have problems with it. And that's why I think the prices of games are becoming like, what do you mean it's going to cost this much?
Dude, it's
Speaking of money, though, but did you remember when you used to have to pay like PlayStation like $50 a year?
Oh, you still do.
You still do, Chris. You still do. But
they do give you a lot more benefits.
There's a lot.
Like you get libraries full of games
that
like
you can download whenever you want. Yes. Like from old, so like hundreds of games.
It's not how it used to be. Yeah. So they do.
Where you literally just paid like. How much was it? I paid $25 every 3 months just to be online and be able to communicate with my friends and play with them. But I also get, like Dawson said, I get that access to all the other games.
Yes. Well, that being said, if they figured out how to, create recurring income every month for them or every quarter.
Oh, it's been like
these
that
games,
since
they do. If they want to sell a new
play.
game, it needs to be a new game. It can't be, because why not just play last year's version for a couple of years?
I seriously think that Rockstar is going to.
They force you not to because they like scare you into not having the best stuff because the best stuff is in the new game. And they make the stuff in the old game not as good, so you have to get the new. So they figured out ways to do it.
Looking back on it, GTA has always been that way. Like they've always relied on their one game and just releasing stuff through that game and like microtransactions in that, and they have thrived. They have always been one of the top companies. And they used to make like Rock Band and Guitar Hero and stuff like that. So there's also that, but still, they have been showing these companies the blueprint and the model to follow for years and years and years, but corporate greed.
And that's why I say I hope that this next one, next year, whenever it is.
It's actually almost an exact year. I think from this week, it comes out this week next year.
I hope it resets. It resets the market.
We can hope. We can hope.
And from everything that it's shown and people talking about it, it looks like it's going to be a hell of a game and a hell of a experience.
I think so.
Gaming-wise. So
I don't care if it's $120. It's going to be worth it because it's going to be around for like 12 years.
I agree, and that's my point to what I'm saying. If people know that internally, they're going to spend more money on it.
Exactly. And that's one of the only games you can say that for. But moving on to video games, but an adaptation of a video game.
Yes.
Did you?
Wait a minute, though, you guys. I looked up the Caitlin Clark stuff.
You did?
We got to come back to Caitlin Clark.
What's up?
So you ready for this? So this is what economists have already said.
Oh, no.
Caitlin Clark this year alone will generate $1 billion for the WNBA. Okay, basically 26.5% of all WNBA economic activity is attributed
responsible for
to
a
her.
fourth of it.
Okay, the games, the viewership has gone up. The average viewership on her games is 200% more than anybody else. 1.2 million viewers per game. She's the top selling jersey. Okay, top selling all merchandise for her.
Surprise.
Her presence, television viewership up 300%. 45% of total broadcast value comes from her games. And it looks like, let's see, the league's revenue has also increased significantly due to her impact with a new media rights deal worth $200 million per year. So for all those people talking about how Caitlin Clark, I'm sorry, she is the Tiger Woods, and they should shut the fuck up and know that because of her, she's going to save their league.
It's case closed.
Case closed. You know what? What do I always say? Numbers don't lie.
Numbers never
Statistics matter.
Yeah, they do.
These are real numbers. She's a major influence.
She is the reason.
Crazy.
She's the reason.
Caitlin Clark is the WNBA.
She really
Without
is.
her,
you think she's going to be the logo? They should make her the logo.
Oh, you know how.
Oh wait, they should just put her shoes on a logo.
No, it's just her shooting a
where
three.
She always takes shots from. That's right.
Shooting a three, dude.
Shooting three.
Oh my god.
She should be the logo.
Let's make a mock logo.
Caitlin, I need like a signed jersey or something from you for all the. I mean, You got your two
Come
biggest.
on, we're pumping her up. I mean, but she's the real.
Everyone else
you ready for
shits
this?
on you. I'm Caitlin.
Of all the money,
Caitlin.
of all the money that Caitlin Clark earns, only 1% of her earnings come from her salary.
Yeah,
only 1%. That's how little they get paid.
Oh my god, dude! Don't get me wrong. There are other stars in the NBA, and I'm familiar with the other stars. Like I really like Cameron Brink from the LA Sparks, and I think
I like that number.
Haley
22.
Van Lith is on Chicago too. She was great in college.
Know her name.
Nika Mueller in Seattle. So there's plenty of players, but it starts with Caitlin Clark. I only know those names because Caitlin Clark made me pay attention to the WNBA, and I think that's what most people need to realize.
there's a hierarchy.
Yes,
I
there's
only know
levels to
jersey
this.
numbers.
There's levels to this.
I just know jersey numbers. That's it.
And if
I don't know
it's-
their names.
if it's not
That's why I don't say them because I don't want to get in trouble.
Not for Caitlin. It don't move.
That's very true. But no, so onto a show adaptation of a video game that me and Dawson both played. I'm sure Jake played it as well. Amazing game. Some of the best games that I have ever played in my life. The Last of Us, Season 2 just finished, not this Sunday, but last Sunday. And they went through pretty much, I think, a third of the game, which I think we all expected because of how lengthy and how many stories there are in that second game. But here's the big story. From the Season 1 finale, they were able to captivate 8.2 million people to watch. In the Season 2 premiere, it was already down 5.3 million. Down to 5.3 million. And by the Season 2 finale, it was down to 3.7 million. That's over a 50% loss in viewership in a year. And I watched the first season. It was okay. I thought they did a good job kind of staying to the story. I thought the writing was a little bit here and there. I thought Joel's actor was great, Pedro Pascal. I thought Ellie's actor should have never been in the show. And the only reason she was in the show is because she is the niece of a Sony executive.
Oh, that happens so
Or an
often,
HBO
too.
Max executive. Nepotism is not something that can be avoided.
Nepotism's real in Hollywood.
What pisses me off the most is that they had the actor for Ellie there. The actor that plays Abby in Season 2, I think would have been a perfect Ellie. And I think honestly, that's most of what was wrong, I think, is the actor. But I still think it's the writing too, because I think you've brought up hey Dawson, I'm going to be a dad.
Yeah,
hopefully for y'all that's seen the show, oh my god,
there were a lot of
cringy.
There were a lot of very cringy moments that I didn't experience in the first season.
It's supposed to be serious.
The first season, I was able to get over, I think, Ellie's actor
She
because
was fine.
it was good.
Acting wise, Ellie's actor in the first season, pretty good.
The story was good. Like
Yeah.
the going through and how they got to me, it was okay. I can kind of get past it because the writing was good.
It was really serious.
You felt the impact of events.
The tension.
So I was able to look past, and then the Season 2 came, and it was the first.
Started off okay.
The first 2 episodes were cool, and everyone was expecting the whole Joel thing, and that happened, and it was, are they going to do it at the beginning or are they going to do it later to kind of milk
it in the beginning.
So I liked all that, and then after that happened, it just got really, just way far off track of what you remember in the game.
Well, they changed a lot of things. There were some that made sense, but then others where it's just like the reaction, the thing that I just brought up, that I'm going to be a dad. There's a part in the game where they just left after Joel had died. I know for people that haven't played the game, I highly recommend you at least watch it because it's incredible. But her father figure, Joel, dies, and she goes off to, get revenge with, her friend, I'm forgetting her name, Dina. And Dina ends up being pregnant about halfway through. They discover she's pregnant halfway through their trip to get to Seattle, where they, figure the people that killed Joel have been. And in the game, Ellie's pissed. Pissed. She's like, you're a liability now. Like, how the hell? Why didn't you tell me before? And it was a whole thing. And in the show, it's just Ellie saying, I'm going to be it's literally just Ellie saying, I'm going to be a dad.
Yeah, it was.
And it's like, are you fucking kidding me?
It was weird to where.
It was really weird.
And yeah.
That's not the only instance, but that is, I guarantee you, what turned off millions of these people at the start. And then these clips online of just it's just like, it's almost like she's a comedic relief character, Ellie. And she's the main character of Season 2. It's her story. It's her revenge story about her going off the chain, becoming a murderer. And it's...
Yeah.
And she's comedic relief. It's so weird
even
to
like
me.
turning some of the deaths to like accidents
Yes.
to where it was like, oh,
it was 100% intentional.
Where a lot of what she was doing was, like you said, intentional.
Revenge.
She was trying to get revenge.
Yes.
I mean, this is why I kind of stopped watching a little bit, and then I tuned into the finale. I played the game, so it's not like I needed to watch all of it to like understand what was going on. I know what happens.
Yeah.
So I was curious to see how they were going to end
the church scene,
and the which I thought was good. I thought they kept that pretty original to the game, and
it doesn't make up for what they did for the last like 4 or 5 episodes.
Like, that's what I come back and say, that the season one was great. I liked it.
I liked it.
The story writing, the way it was written, I was able to get past, I think, the actor of Ellie and like kind of it being like.
For what it's worth, she was playing Ellie in the first season. It felt like her. She didn't look like her, but it felt like her. Like her persona, the way she talked. But then season 2 is just a completely different person.
Yeah, it's almost, I don't want to say like it went woke, but it just felt like they had.
I'm going to be a dad.
They had people, they like the same people that they gave permission to write season 1 and film season 1. And then they like had other people who stepped in, was like, no, you need to add this. You need to add this. You need to do this.
So much shit just gets
I don't care if it doesn't
way.
happen in the game. This is what we want because this is the persona we want. This is the message we want. So you have to put that in there. That's what it kind of feels like. And of course, like we see with a lot of these Disney movies, with a lot of these new movies who are doing that, it's the classic saying of go woke, go broke. And
Disney figured it out.
Some
of these companies are going to figure it out the hard way, kind of like Disney did with Marvel.
And I have a feeling that's a little bit of what happened with this, which sucks because I was really looking forward to this season 2.
The good news is they can still right the ship. Yeah, this season's kind of in the shitter a little bit, but season 3, allegedly it's going to be 2 more seasons. It kind of has to be.
Which makes sense.
Oh my God, there are so many storylines to go over in this game, but season 3 is going to be all about Abby and pretty much the entire story that happened leading up until the real cliffhanger at the end of season 2 is going to go over the same events, but from Abby's perspective and like where she was during all of this. And then it ends in that, church with her and Ellie fighting. And then season 4 is the final chapter and the epilogue. But you got to fix it in season 3. Well, you got a great actor in Abby. I think her story is going to be fun. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. And there's characters within her story that are going to be cool to watch. Well, and just thinking
of her story, of what happened in the game.
Remember the Rat King?
Yeah, there's a lot of great moments to where
you've got like a religious cult. It's going
to be good.
I can tell you one thing. That many viewers still watching the show, and I don't watch this show. I mean, I have no interest in it whatsoever, but just from a business standpoint, that's still a lot of people watching it. They're going to right the ship. They'll do what Disney did. They'll figure out what went wrong.
You would think.
And they'll get it right.
Or they double down. Down.
People be crazy to double down right now. They'd be crazy.
That's a good point.
I hope so.
They'll figure it out. That's still 3.7 viewers is still a lot of people.
It is.
They're gonna try to get back to that 8.
Okay. Well,
good point.
I will look out for season 3 and news for it. Yeah. I would assume that they're probably at least 1.5 years to 2 years out from releasing season 3 because I don't even think they've finished filming, if they've even started filming. So it's gonna be a long time to wait. But we've got some good Marvel movies coming up to look forward to.
Yeah, like we said,
Spider-Man. So we had actually talked about this. Those Avengers movies got delayed, and now the next movie that comes out is over 1 year from Fantastic Four, and it's Spider-Man. That's going to be the next movie.
Why'd they delay him? Did they say?
Well, I would assume story purposes, and Spider-Man's going to be pretty damn important if they want to use Iron Man's death as like Doom's background. Spider-Man is at least what they've set him up as. It's like a father figure to him. So
they do a lot of test audiences. I know Marvel does that. And they're probably running storylines by people to see what they think.
Well, they're currently undergoing emergency reshoots for Fantastic Four. Less than 2 months before the movie releases. So that's kind of scary, but they did it with Thunderbolts and it worked all right.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good movie.
Well, you look at Thunderbolts and then you look at like Captain America, Brave New World.
I thought that was a decent movie too.
It was, but it was riddled with reshoots. You could tell. Thunderbolts you couldn't.
And there were. So it was.
So you never know, especially with how they like to do it. But yeah, no, the month of July is going to be, I mean, you got Happy Gilmore, you got the new Superman with James Gunn.
Training camp will be starting.
The new How to Train Your Dragons, I think, is coming out soon. So and then the Lilo and Stitch movie, if you haven't gone and seen it, I thought it was good. I thought Stitch was great. His voice actor is the same. He had the same funny comic relief. I thought Lilo was awesome. They did a good job with her. There were a couple parts in the story to where I felt like they changed it kind of to like, that's you don't change that. That was such a big part of the first one. Why'd you change that? You shouldn't have done that. But for the as a whole, I thought it was good. It was funny. Yeah. If you go into it just wanting to watch a movie, not like trying to nitpick, like, oh, that was different. Did they try to do this? Just watch the movie, have a good time. And it was, if you like animals, if you like the first one with Stitch, it was a lot of good moments.
Hell yeah.
So that's what I would say about that. That will wrap it up though.
Yeah.
Episode 40.
Episode 40
in the books. We are going to start, I think here in a couple
2 weeks.
Not next episode, but episode 42 we're going to start a series where we go into each NFL division.
Yeah, each week will be a different division. We'll have guests on with fans of those teams, and it's
have some cool conversations, and it will lead us literally right up to.
Yes, we've done the math. We will be doing the final division the week of the Hall of Fame game, and that is right before preseason.
And then,
starts.
Of course, right
Training
before preseason starts, we jump full into fantasy and full into all of that stuff. So it's going to work out pretty great timeline wise. Talking about
it'll be great.
It'll be a lot of fun.
Perfect.
And the NFL really does drive everything, don't they?
Oh, yeah,
it does.
They drive us. They drive us damn near. Every show, it's at least 50% NFL almost.
It does. But thank you guys so much for watching. And don't forget, follow, subscribe for long content on Spotify, YouTube. Short clips will be on Instagram, and whether that's stuff we post on our story, that's all on Instagram as well. But yes, we will catch you guys next time, and peace out.
Yes, sir. It's been real, guys.